Welcome back, viewers. This is the Florida Two-Wheel Adventure channel. My name is Keith. I don't really have any plan for this video. I haven't thought anything out before firing up the camera. I've recently made a video where I put an LED headlight into this bike. Let me start over again. I don't have any plan for this video because I don't really have any plan. Right now I'm going through some really personal things, major life changes, and I'll be honest with you, it's just a little bit depressing, a lot of it. I'm trying to get my mind right, or at least get my mind busy, and start doing some things that help me pass my time. So I might as well jump on a bike. This traffic light, they just put this light's been here for years, but it's always been a flashing light. It didn't actually turn red. Well, it did in the east-west direction, but anyway, nobody gives a shit about the light. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to ride up here through the woods and just stop for a minute and go around the bike while it's still daylight. Because I had some comments. Apparently on some of my videos I've talked about some of the upgrades, modifications, changes, whatever you want to call them, to the KLX300. This is the 2021 model, but when I did those videos, I didn't really step back, didn't really give any wide shots of the bike. I don't remember. I have to assume the person knew what he was talking about, or they knew. I got a couple of comments like that. I don't think that I've done a lot to the bike. I've done what probably everybody does. Most everything that I do as far as changes to a bike, therefore to make it more suitable for what I'm going to use the bike for. So this bike, this Kawasaki KLX300, this is strictly for me an off-road bike. Okay, so why am I riding on the pavement? Well, I'm going to the trail. That's the only reason I go on the pavement with this. I don't ride it to the store. I don't go out to lunch with it. I don't take it to work. I don't do anything with this bike except go to the woods with it. I've had this bike over a year and I put 861 miles on it. Stick around for the video. I know that it hasn't really probably started out that great when you start out telling people that, hey, I got life problems going on that are hitting me kind of hard. And I'm not going to be very interesting today. Well, that's a pretty good way to get people to click off. Maybe even unsubscribe, I don't know. Oh, that I was looking at some of my analytics on my channel when I was uploading the last video. One of the buttons on there is, you can check to see if you qualify for monetization. Now, I know that making money off YouTube videos at the rate that I pump out YouTube videos is not conducive to anything more than maybe a few pennies a month. But it'd be nice to even get a couple of pennies back. I gotta wait here. I gotta wait to get on the road just to get back off it. I'll have to cut this part out, huh? I'm gonna have to change my plan. I'm not coming back this way. They've totally screwed up one of my entrances. I'll have to use a plan B. See if this one still gets me down in there. I gotta open up my visor. This is getting a little bit stuffy. was a big hole. I don't think I would have seen it if I was sitting down. Oh, another one. Oh, the rainy season up here tends to wash out parts of these trails. Well, you know, that looked like a nice little trail. But I should be able to cut down through these woods and get into an area. Oh, look, another clearing. What's that say? Warning, live honeybees. Apiary lease location, West Fisher Bee Farm. No trespassing. I guess that's me. I tell you, one of the things that I did different that I won't be able to show you on video today, when I first got the bike, I yanked out the snorkel. For those of you that may not know what a snorkel is, it's a snorkel is essentially a tube that allows for fresh air to be drawn into your air box, because air is one of the essential components for a combustion engine to operate. So as I was saying, your engine's gotta have air. It's gotta be able to breathe. In fact, one time they were called breathers, air intakes. So the bike comes with a snorkel, obviously, from the factory, but it was real restrictive. When any vehicle can't breathe, it can't operate very well. So, in the very simplest way to describe it, the small air tube, the small snorkel that was on this bike caused it to be underpowered. So one of the changes I did initially to help try to get the power up was that I took the snorkel completely out. So what that does is your vehicle's got an air box. On the top of the air box, this vehicle, motorcycles, on the top of the air box is a hole cut out of it, and in that hole is where the snorkel lives. So when I took the snorkel out, all I had left was just a hole. Right? Follow me? Pretty simple. Pretty simple stuff. And what that did is it allowed a lot more air to come into the engine. And when you got a lot more air, then you do fuel, your bike becomes what is called lean, L-E-A-N, lean. Too much air, not enough fuel. That's also not good. The next common sense thing to do was to increase the amount of fuel that my bike was able to get. Ooh, that just went right in my eye. I got an eye full of swamp water. So I accomplished more fuel by adding a fuel controller, an EJK. You won't be able to see that either. I think that EJK, that's the brand name, company name for the electronic jet kit. Now, don't pay any attention to jets. We're not talking about carburetors. This bike is fuel injected. So getting the extra fuel and the extra air made the bike run a lot better. But I did notice that there were some issues with it in certain times. I'm not going to try to cross that. I don't really care to get stuck when I've got nobody to come up here and try to save me. Harkening back to my personal problems. But anyhow, oh man, I almost ran over that little fella. Hey, little turtle guy, better watch yourself. That's all I need on my conscience, killing a turtle and stalling the bike. Oh my goodness. Let me just do it right here. The bike. Alright, so different modifications. Now probably what I ought to do is go in a little bit closer. Maybe what I ought to do is grab my phone and shoot a little video with that. So I'm going to stop this one. Alright, I'll insert some of this video to try to get a little closer view on the updates, modifications. We'll start at the front. As you can see on my channel, I did this recent Cyclops LED headlight. That looks really good at night. I like it. I got a video coming out as soon as I go edit it for a little night ride. Moving down, I've got Moto's Tractionator, Moto's Enduro Tractionator ST, the ST meaning soft terrain tires. Front and rear, they're great tires. I love them. They work really well on the road. At least on the back, I don't know if it's the same for the front. It might be. You can swap the tires rotation halfway through its life to even it out and get a little more mileage out of it. They're great. I've also got, I think they're Motion Pro rim locks on here. I initially had the tubeless tire system, TUBLISS, and that was impossible to balance. Even the rim lock wasn't easy. See, I got all these wheel weights. I've also got in the front tube, I've got ride-on tire sealant, which also balances the tires. It's pretty smooth right now. I like the way that it works. Moving up, I've got the Acerbis hand guards. I forget the model name, but these are a pain in the neck to put on the bike. The master cylinder and the clutch cable really cause a problem. Let me try to get you down in there. They cause a problem with their location for the bracket, for the handguard bracket. I've got one going one direction and then the other the opposite. It's just a pain in the butt. I changed the handlebars. I was looking for handlebars that had a higher rise to them. I didn't know anything about the name brands, about the style types, so I ended up getting Carmichael Evo. I think these are Pro Taper, and they were exactly the same bend as the Kawasaki handlebars. So I'm not crazy about that, but they work, and I like that. I don't know what this color is, bronze or something. I like the way that looks with the bike. It looks really good. Moving up, I've got the breakaway mirrors. These just fold in. They got the ram ball, so they come right off, and if you do crash, they just bend. They don't break. Down here, I've got the Pro Taper cushion grips. I have a cheap set of Amazon. Don't even know if they got a name on them. Clutch and brake lever shorties. They work out nicely. I like those. They haven't given me any problems. I think they were like 30 bucks. Moving down, you can't see it, but I've changed the front sprocket, which would be right there, and the rear sprocket. The chain is factory. It's a 13 tooth up front and a 42 tooth in the rear. That rear tire's also got a rim lock in it. Of course, I did the battery charging cable. This goes straight down to the battery, then you can plug in a trickle charger. I never do it, but I have it there. I've got a skid plate down here. I forget the company name, but it works out really nice. I like it, no problems with that. Moving up, I've got radiator guards. These are Emperor Racing. These are for the 2019 and down 250S. So for your Kawasaki KLX300, that's what these are for. They've got a specific 300 one now, and the major difference is it's more narrow. On this side, the right side of the bike, I had to cut a little bit of the guard out to fit around this bracket. This is one of the radiator mounting tabs, and the new 300 version essentially ends this right before here, so it goes straight up. At the top it was no problem, it fit around it, but at the bottom it wouldn't fit, so I just trimmed out a few pieces of that, and the KLX300 radiator guards work. Going back and looking at them from the front, they look good, and they offer nice protection for those radiators. So let's see, radiator guards, the sump guard, bash plate, sprockets, tires. I've got this bag up here. This is a bag that I've had on different bikes, same bag. It's just a Nelson rig bag. I just bring the water with me, a rag, there's some tools in there, registration, dry bag for the bag in case it starts pouring down on me, which I've never used. That's mounted to a Precision Racks, another Amazon purchase. You can't really see it, but I got a video on it. Nice rack. It just mounts here and then on the other side. And then you take off your toolkit. This bike comes with a factory toolkit bolted to the fender. You just take that off. Actually, the toolkit's what I've got in here. Then moving down, I've got the Delcovic muffler. I forget the model name. I think that's a 13-inch. It sounds good. Oh, the seat cover. This is another Amazon deal made by these people, JFG Racing. It's Chinese, but it works good. It's on top of the factory seat cover, so I didn't have to take anything off. It's just on there and stapled up. But it looks good. I wanted a green. I really like Kawasaki's green, so I try to make everything match as best I can. The EJK, you can't see it, it's under the seat. It has the O2 delete, and oh, the snorkel, back to the snorkel. I took that out, the factory one out, and later came across a KDX. It's another Kawasaki motorcycle, a KDX air snorkel, and I put that in. It's the same shape essentially as the original one that came out of the bike, but it's much bigger. It draws in much air. Well, since I've had that in here, I've noticed that the bike handles better. The engine performs better. I'm getting better performance. I don't know what else to say. It doesn't bog. It doesn't stutter. It does backfire a little bit, but I think that's more to do with the exhaust than anything else. And probably my EJK settings. I got to go in there and tweak them because I haven't changed it since I put the snorkel on. But I like it. I won't go without a snorkel again. I'll keep the KDX one in there. So those are the big changes. I think that's everything. We got the tires, the rim locks, the headlight, the hand guards, the mirrors, the handlebars, the radiator guard, the bash plate, the exhaust, the bag rack. Oh, one last thing. This you can't really see too well, but I got one of those tail tidies. Gets rid of the fender. And it's LED light. So that made the back of the bike, I think, look a lot better without the big old fender hanging down there. So while I still got a little bit of light, let me just start the bike. Let you hear the exhaust. Look like selling it. It depends on how things go moving forward, but there's that new LED headlight. All right, I'll probably end this video here. Probably rambled on enough, so I appreciate everybody watching. And as far as going back to what I said earlier about the subscribers and the monetization, I should probably push people to subscribe. I'm not really into doing that very much, but if you would, I'd appreciate it. Today, I'm sitting at 400 and something, 440. I can't remember. I got 400 and something subscribers. I need 1,000. And then I qualify. I meet all the other requirements. There's 3 others: watch hours and no strikes, and I forget the 4th. But anyway, there's the KLX300 and my updates to it. A little bit of personal information about what's going on, and hopefully I'm either going to put out a lot more videos, or I'm not going to put out any more videos. So we'll see. I don't know which way I'm going to go with it yet. My mood really kind of changes minute to minute. But anyway, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. If you would subscribe, I would love that. Comment below. It's one of the things that I do to pass the time, is to read the comments and reply. So anyway, thank you. Everybody take care. Ride safe. Peace out. Bonus footage. I know that I ended the video there with my camera on the phone, but I figured, why pass up this opportunity to give you a little bit of the night shot of the, well, it's dusk, a little night shot of the headlight. We're on low beam right now going through this trail. I see it works pretty good. Kept me out of getting through all that mud. There's high beam. You really can't see any difference, can you? It's not dark enough yet. Well, let's stand up. Yeah, this LED headlight, and the way I've got it adjusted right now, seems to be pretty good. And it makes seeing things on the trail a little easier, that's for sure. We're getting back out to some light now, so I'm going to lose it. Maybe I'll even insert this somewhere. And what I said about my video ending with the camera phone won't make any sense. But then again, making sense is not really one of my strong suits. Woo! One of the things I've never thought about changing on this bike has been the suspension. Before this bike, I had the Honda CRF 250L. And if you know about these small displacement dual sport bikes, the KLX300 and the Honda CRF 250L being the two main ones for many years. I mean, you had the Yamaha, the 250, but that was a different bike. That had a lot more power. It was taller. The suspension was better. Even though it was still a 250, from what I understand, it was quite the machine. But the CRF 250L suspension sucked. It was horrible. You could bottom that thing out on just these little whoops that I'm hitting here in the road. But I sold that bike to buy this bike when this 300 came out. I haven't regretted this suspension at all. I don't think it's bottoming out. I don't feel it, not like I did on the Honda. But on this one, you got more adjustment. So I'm a little bit heavier than these bikes really like with the stock suspension. I'm at about 195, 200 right now most days. And I think I've probably gone over the limit of what these bikes were designed for, who they were designed for, but I've not had any problem with it. I don't know how well you can hear the exhaust, but it's got a nice tone to it. When I got this bike, there was really not much available in the aftermarket community for it. Turns out that a lot, and I mean a lot, of the KLX300 parts work on it. In fact, I don't think I've got anything on here that's specific to the KLX300. I think everything that I've modified this bike with is for a KLX300. Now, it's important that you don't go too far back I don't know how far back 250s remained unchanged. But if you find any parts for like a 2017, 2018, 19 KLX 250, it's going to work on a 21, 22 KLX300. I don't think they've changed these at all since they've been out, so there should be no problems there. And of course, now that the bike's been out a little while, more things are available for the 300. And if I had to guess, I was telling you about the radiator guards, how they just narrowed them up some. I would guess a lot of the companies out there just took their 250 parts, accessories, and either did nothing to them and just said, hey, these are for the 300 also, or slightly modified them to be specific for the 300, and now they're selling them. So there's a lot more stuff on the aftermarket. But honestly, straight off the showroom floor, these bikes are really good. So if you're thinking about buying one of these, I strongly suggest it if you can find one. Some people are complaining about really getting beat up on the price of the bike. Well, that's just the world we live in now. I'm not going to make this a political video, but I'm gonna. If you voted for a Democrat, or Joe Biden at least, then what you're seeing around you today, well, you can reach over your back and give yourself a nice pat, because it's partly your fault. Now, I probably just lost some viewers. Probably going to not make that 1,000 subscriber mark with a comment like that, but that's the truth. Issues that we're having overseas, the issues that we're having with fuel, the issues that we're having with getting things into the country, getting things made in the country, these are all direct results of the policies of the Democratic Party, specifically the progressive left of the Democratic Party. And if you don't believe so, then I can't help you. You probably should go talk to somebody that can. Cut off fuel production in the country when you don't allow fuel pipelines to be brought down from Alaska. There's no more drilling in Alaska. Probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, source of fossil fuels and natural gas and everything that we need to make gasoline is found in Alaska, and we can't use any of it. We can't get it. You got that redheaded broad Jen Psaki on there saying that, oh yeah, there's 9,000 or 3,000, 6,000, whatever. There's thousands of licenses out there that fuel companies, the gas companies, the oil companies, they just don't want to drill. They're just not utilizing them. We're providing them. We're making them available. They can drill all they want, but they're choosing not to. How stupid is that? All right, now I'm getting myself wound up. How stupid is that? You got an oil company who makes its money, billions and billions of dollars, from the production of fossil fuels, and they're saying, nah, we don't want to drill things. We'll just not take anything that we use to sell. That's stupid. What they're doing is, it'd be like me in Florida, saying, oh yeah, Shell Oil, come on down to my land. I got a couple of acres there. I'll give you a lease permit. You can come down there and drill for all the oil you want. Oh, you don't want to? Well, then I guess you don't want to make any money. This high gas price problem, that's your fault. No, idiot, it's because I got no fuel on my land up here. So all the licenses out there, they're probably, I can't say for sure because I don't have any facts on it, but I'm confident that if you go look for them, you'll find out that where these licenses are, there's no oil under the ground. So they can drill there all they want, but they're not going to get any oil. So that's why they're saying, no, we're not going to use those permits. It's insulting to people to have any brains when somebody like her gets up there and says, oh yeah, this is not our fault. Cutting down all the oil production coming out of Alaska, that had no effect on you seeing gas prices for $4 a gallon right now. And I'm lucky in Florida. I'm going to go by my gas station next door right here, and you're going to see fuel from, I think it was 405 or something yesterday. But anyway, back to my regular programming. Getting back off topic, or getting back on topic, depending on how you want to look at it. Oh, today it's 417. It's gone up again. But you know, that's the oil company's fault. If they would just drill in the places that they're letting them drill, we wouldn't have these problems. All right, that's it. I should probably shut up now.